Friends, this is Professor Nagendra, Department of Mechanical Engineering, St. Peter's Engineering College. Today our topic is deflection of helical springs and buckling of springs and eccentric loading of the springs and problems. Today we will discuss about on these topics. So what is the deflection of the spring? Deflection of the spring means whenever we are going to putting load on the spring will be either it will go for compression or it will go for elongation. So over there the deflection will come, that is called as delta L. That we will find out one formula, that is we know that this is studied in torsion. T by J is equal to G theta by L, that is equal to tau by D by 2. So we have theta, we have to find out theta and modulus of rigidity and polar moment of inertia. We know that polar moment of inertia pi by 32 into d power 4. Okay, then we will find out theta 16w d square by n divided by g d power 4. So now we will get delta deflection. I told delta L, delta is equal to 8w cube divided by g. So we know that C is spring index, that is capital D by small d. What is the capital D? Diameter of the spring, and small d is the diameter of the wire. So N is the number of active coils. So now we will find out the stiffness of the spring. Stiffness of the spring is the ratio of load to the deflection, that is equal to GD divided by 8C cube by N. So what is that? Now we will see that what is that eccentric loading. So what is that eccentric loading? Sometimes these springs we cannot put on a center. The load will go to the sides. So that load is called as eccentric load. Then the spring is called as eccentric loading. So what is that eccentric loading we are having, and that distance we are going to telling is offset distance. That offset distance denoted by E. So the spring may be undergone axial load, that is a factor is given by D by 2E plus D. So where is mean diameter of this spring? E is that offset distance of the spring. And buckling of the load on compression springs. So what is that buckling load on the compression spring? So the buckling load of the compression leaf spring, particularly leaf spring, it is that 4 times of mean pitch diameter. That is called as buckling load, buckling of the compression springs. So then the spring behaves as a column. So whenever buckling load is applied, so then that the spring is going to be behaving as a column. Column means columns and struts, we know that in strength of materials. So that that behaves as a column. So what is that critical load? At that time, what is the buckling critical load? So whenever this critical load will come, whenever the buckling load will come and acting on the springs, then only the critical load will come into the picture on the springs. So that is denoted by WCR, that is equal to K into KB into LF. So that is called as buckling load on the compression springs. We know that KB is equal to buckling factor. So now we will see that natural frequency. What is that natural frequency? We know that the natural frequency is generally we are going to denote it by cycles per second. We are having natural frequency means same thing what we are discussed, buckling and eccentric loading and compression on helical springs. So whenever the load is going to applied on that spring, there will be frequency will be there. That spring frequency we are going to measuring in cycles per second. So what is that? It is generally the springs, in order to avoid the resonance, the harmonic frequencies up to 20th order we are going to considering that. So after 20th order, the natural frequency, what we are going to finding out, one equation is there, d by 2 pi d square n under root of 6 G divided by rho, that is under cycles per second, where G is modulus of rigidity, G is acceleration due to gravity, rho is the density of spring of material, N is equal to number of active turns, D is the diameter of wire, D is equal to mean diameter of the spring. Now we will see that one problem. A compression coil spring made on an alloy steel having the following specifications: mean dia of coil 50 mm, wire diameter 5 mm, number of active coils 20. If the spring is subjected to an axial load of 500 newtons, calculate maximum shear stress, neglect curvature effect to which the spring material is subjected. This problem is given by J into H. Okay, in the April, May 2015 or 2016. Okay, given data. First, we have to write whenever design problem has given, we have to write that what data is given in the problem. And one more advantage is for design of machine members, we have to, the JNTU is allowing for design data book. That is one more advantage for us. So now we will see that given data. This is a compression coil spring made up of alloy steel, mean diameter 50 mm, diameter of wire D 5 mm, number of active coils N is equal to 20, axial load 500. To find maximum shear stress, that we know that we are already seen, tau max is equal to Ks into 8WD divided by pi d cube. We know that the stress factor, that is 1 plus 1 by 2C. We know that C is compression index. We can find out D by D is equal to 5. Ks is equal to, we can find out spring stress shear factor, that is we find out with substituting of spring index, that is a 5, we got it 1.05. Now we have to find out that what is that maximum shear stress on the spring. So that is Ks into 8WD by pi d cube. This is 1.05 into 8 into 500 into 50 divided by pi into d cube. That is equal to 534.7 Newton per mm square. That's we are going to seeing that 534.7 megapascal. And we'll see that another one more Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Marathwada University problem. We'll see that a helical spring is made up from wire of 6 mm diameter and has outside diameter is 75 mm. If that permissible shear stress is 350 megapascal and modulus of rigidity 84 kilonewton per mm square, find the axial load which the spring can carry and the deflection per active turn. So we know that what is that given data. Given data is we know that diameter of wire 6 mm, outside diameter d naught 75 mm, mean diameter d is equal to d naught minus d 65 mm, 69 mm. Shear stress tau is equal to 350 Newton per meter square. Modulus of rigidity it is given. Spring index we given. Now we can find out what is that delta by n, deflection per active turn. That's first we neglect the curvature effect and we will consider the curvature effect. Deflection W by n is equal, delta by n is equal to, we know that formula. According to that I found out tau max Ks into 8WD and I found out this spring index, there's a tau max 1.043 into 8W into 69 divided by pi into 6 cube. So I got it, what is that axial load on that spring. So I found out. Now I am going to finding out deflection of this spring. Delta is equal to 8W d cube into n divided by g d power 4. Deflection per active turn is delta by n. That is equal to, just I am going to keeping all the values in the formula. That is 8W d cube by g d power 4. Just starting also I written over there. Same formula, just I am going to keeping the values. So I am going to finding out deflection per active turn. 8 into 4, 12.7 into 69 cube divided by 84 into 10 raised to 3 into 66 power 4. That is equal to delta n is equal to 9.96 mm. We know that. Now we will see that the first one we find out that with the curvature effect. Now we will find out without effect curvature. We know that Wahl's stress factor. Here we are going to considering here only that some difference will come in that design, spring design. What is that? Over there we consider spring index is Ks is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2C. There is no curvature effect. here there is a curvature we are going to considering. So now K according to Wahl's stress factor, K is equal to 4C minus 1 divided by 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 divided by C. So what is that? K is equal to, just I am keeping all the values in that equation, spring index. I got that Wahl's stress factor is 1.12. Now we can find out according to the tau max, K into AWC by pi d square, that is equal to 350 is equal to 1.123 into 8 into W into 11.5 by pi into 6 square. 350 is equal to 0.913 W. W is equal to 350 by 0.913, 383.4 newtons. Deflection of the spring, delta is equal to 8WD d cube divided by G d power 4 into N. Deflection per active turn we have to find out with curvature effect, that is without curvature, that is a delta N is equal to 9.26 nm. Here one thing we have to observe in the design problems, actually, that without curvature effect 9.96 we got it, here we got it 9.26. So this curvature effect will be the more. Here we have to note this curvature, without curvature effect and without curvature effect, with curvature effect and without curvature effect. Thank you.